This is just a demo of the new trigger reordering interface on Force Table. This is a lot of work, and I hope I have all the rules down. So this is just a convoluted scenario that I set up where I have Iden deployed along with Gideon, Bossk, Agent Kallus, and Fighters for Freedom. I'm going to play Force Choke on Bossk. So what should happen should be that Fighters for Freedom triggers. It does not resolve yet until Force Choke is done resolving. This will also trigger Bossk, which also does not trigger yet. It just adds the trigger for resolution later. The reason for force choking Bossk here is just to make sure that when Bossk is force choked, that the trigger still occurs, and that the trigger does not disappear just because Bossk disappears. So let's give that a shot. Okay, so here's the new UI right here. It displays the pending triggers. The triggers will resolve generally from left to right, but these can all be reordered because they are in the same trigger layer, so to speak. So here I play Force Choke. It has not resolved yet, so the two pending triggers get added to the queue. I'm going to go ahead and Force Choke Bossk. So here you could see that Agent Kallus also fires right before the layer for Force Choke has finished resolving. So while the event is still, while the actions of the event are currently running, all these triggers kind of get added into a pending queue. So after the resolution of Force Choke is done, we see trigger resolution, Force Choke played, and now we see our three triggers. So here I'm going to try to generate some nested layers. So I'm going to run this first trigger on Bossk to deal 2 damage to a unit. I'm going to target the opponent's Rokai gunship. So what should occur is this trigger happens before I can resolve Fighters for Freedom and Agent Kallus. So let's go ahead and do that. So here we see in the UI that this actually spawned a whole bunch of more triggers. So these all are on level 2 because they occurred as response to Rokai gunship's trigger. So in this case, we have Iden, who has when an enemy unit is defeated. This was the opponent's Rokai gunship. We have Gideon triggering on our side, which is when an enemy unit is defeated, which is their Rokai gunship. And then this is their own when defeated trigger that occurred. So because all of those triggered as a result of the Rokai gunships, those are all on level 2. These are all on level 1, so these are not able to be triggered until all of these are triggered. So I'm going to go ahead and do their Rokai gunship, which I have set in the code to automatically target my Rokai gunship. Perfect. So here we see that it was spawned a level 3 trigger. And what you just saw there was a kind of an automation of sorts, which is when there's only one specific trigger on a nested layer, you'll see that little progress timer countdown. When that pops, the resolution of that trigger automatically occurs. If you're really used to the interface, you can just go ahead and click on the individual triggers to run them. But that progress bar is just an attempt to kind of speed things along, also kind of display the triggers that are running currently. So which target to deal 1 damage to from the gunship, I'm just going to go ahead and target the base. So now after that trigger is done, we're back to level 2, in which case I can heal 1 damage from Iden or to run Gideon. It doesn't really matter the orders of these for the purpose of this demo. So here you can see this nice timer. We can click on it. We can give ourselves experience, and now we're back down to level 1, the original triggers as a result of playing Force Choke. So now we can deal 1 damage to a base, and now the trigger resolution runs for Agent Kallus. We just let that automatically run, and now we can draw a card. Nice.